It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry Podcast on a really strange day as it's turned out to be. This is, of course, the show for April the 23rd, brought to you by Will U.S., the owner of Scoot Around, and by Chillie's Cruises. And as you'll probably be able to hear, there is it looks like a military helicopter that has been circling literally right outside my cabin door for the best part of an hour now. He goes out and makes a big circle, comes back in, and he's gotten so close at times going past my cabin that it rattles the windows from the air. He just came by. He can't be more than 50 feet away from the ship. I have no idea what's going on. All right, so today, coming to you from Livorno, Italy. I did not go ashore today. I did yesterday. Otter Tom and I went into town, and we pretty much pieced together the scam of buses that are used for shuttles. And they charge you. You can't walk out of this port. There's been several of them. You couldn't do that in Rome. You couldn't walk out of the port in Rome. You couldn't walk out of the port in Majorca. You had to take the shuttle to get anywhere, and you have to pay for it. Oh, it's not much. It's, €7 round trip. Then they advertise that the shuttles are accessible. That's great. So Otter Tom got done with his excursion and early yesterday, and he says, "You want to go into town?" I said, "Okay." So I met him downstairs when he got back to the ship, and we went to get our tickets for the shuttle. And he says, "Oh, you're in a wheelchair. You get to go for free." I said, "Oh, well, that's nice. They didn't tell us that." So we rode the shuttle into town. It's a 15, 20-minute ride by the bus. We get into town. We get off the shuttle. Hot Air Tom and I took care of, both of us had a little business to take care of. We took care of that. We found a nice little restaurant and had a lovely lunch, cafe type lunch. And we head back to the ship. Now, the shuttles are supposed to run every 10 to 15 minutes. And it appears, as I've been able to piece together now, there were 6 buses that the cruise line was using here in Livorno. We stayed in Livorno overnight. So there were 6 buses. The catch is only one of them's accessible. The other 5 are not. As it happened, the accessible bus was, I believe, the second bus when we got back to the station to get on the bus. And there was a mobility device in front of me. There's only room on the bus for one wheelchair or one scooter. So I had to wait for the next bus. I did not know that it was going to be, 5 more buses before that same bus that is accessible gets back. So we sat there for like an hour and a half waiting. So, yeah, it was free. But we sat there for an hour and a half. And there was 2 street urchins we found out later were pickpockets trying to bum money to feed this little baby. And what their stick is that they will, if you get in your wallet to pull out $1 or something, they'll see where the wallet is, and then the other one comes along and picks your pocket. So I was as rude and nasty as I could be. Uh, the fifth time they hit me up, and I just blasted them, and then they stayed away from me. So, all right, so that's the scam on the excursion buses, or not excursion buses, but and it might be the same thing with excursions. I don't know. Uh, I could rant on two things today. One, we're going to cons tomorrow, which is cons in Monaco and Monte Carlo. They're all right together. It's about 150 yards for each one of them. It's not much space at all. It is a tender port. So I got the notification this morning that, sorry, you will not be allowed to go ashore unless you can. These are accessible tenders if you can walk 4 steps up and 4 steps back down. Yeah, well, that's not accessible. And Norwegian's going to have to quit saying that and implying that, because it's not accessible, damn it. Something is accessible means that it is inclusive. Everybody can go. Not everybody but the fat guy in a wheelchair. He can't go. That doesn't make it accessible. But that's not my real rant today. I'll save that rant for another day. I'm also going to write about it. And I'm going to start blasting Norwegian. I love Norwegian. But that's got to be changed. I did the same thing. I got really close with the guy on the Epic, and he agreed with me, and he started trying to do some things to change it. Now, whether it'll get done or not, who knows? But that's not my real rant today, folks. These last 2 cruises, the Epic from Miami to Rome, and this one, which is a round tripper out of Barcelona. 15 days coming over on the Epic, 9 days on the Breakaway. And everybody knows here that I stay on top of the disabled restrooms, make sure that they're all operational, that they're all set up right, that they're all in the right locations, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And again, the Breakaway is in excellent shape as far as the public restrooms go. There's a bank of 3 restrooms. There's a men's, a women's, and a wheelchair accessible, which is co-educational. We in the disabled community don't mind that. We're used to that. It's not a big deal if I stand in line and wait for a lady to get out of the restroom that's on a scooter or a wheelchair. And I think that lady would feel the same way. Oh, there's a man coming in behind me. At least we've got the facilities, and the facilities are the way they're supposed to be. But I have run into more instances where I would have to wait, and sometimes for as much as 20 to 25 minutes, where I started getting worried that somebody inside might have had a heart attack or something, and called and got security to come in and open the door and see what the hell was going on inside. And in every case, it was people in there that were not in wheelchairs, that were not on scooters, were not in any way disabled that one could tell. And I go off. The sad part is, if you think about it, folks, the people in Europe, I could understand that they don't know what the hell a wheelchair accessible restroom is. They don't have an ADA over here. So I wouldn't even be upset if it was somebody that, somebody that speaks Spanish or Italian or any number of languages over here that maybe they just don't understand. This is not that case. These are damn arrogant Americans in every instance. And I am so pissed off that I could strangle them. The audacity for them that they could perfectly well walk in a regular restroom and make me stand and wait, or somebody else that's disabled. Besides being in a chair, we have medical issues. When we have to go, we have to go. And somebody that could walk right next door in a regular restroom is going to tie the handicap restroom up because it's big enough for me to turn around in there on my chair, and they think that's better. And every bit of it is arrogant Americans that think they're, don't stink until I tell you it does. And I'm angry about it. I had one bathroom that was so bad, they posted a security guard there to keep people out of the accessible bathroom. Now that's ridiculous. People, if you're not disabled, don't go in a disabled bathroom. Go in the bathroom that's intended for you and don't screw the disabled community. Period. The end. I'll be back with the news after a quick break from one of our fine network sponsors, if they're still with me. All right. You guys can tell I'm pissed off about this. I am really. So it's happened over and over and over again. It's just ridiculous. So, okay. I didn't even go over the headlines today. Here's the stories we're going to get to. The lead story this morning is Delta engine fire in Orlando Tarmac. P&O cancels a cruise the day before embarkation. Also today, outbreaks still reported to the CDC. An 84-year-old Medevaced. That's the first thing I thought of when this helicopter is buzzing around. Could this be a Medevaced? We're in port. And Livorno's got a hospital, I'm sure. Anyway, it's apparently not. He's still flying around out there. Let's see, what else? A residential ship, the World, I didn't even know about this one, is in Drydock. A Bliss solo specials, which is pretty cool. MSC to develop a second island, and prices up sharply in Rome. That and lots more here at 10 a.m. this morning. Today, folks, by the way, is National Cherry Cheesecake Day. I like cherry cheesecake. I like any kind of cheesecake. I like any kind of cheesecake except the kind that the people using my handicapped restrooms are eating. I don't like that one. All right, this day in history, 2005, folks. This one I found shocking. The first YouTube video, me at the zoo, was uploaded and published by the platform co-founder Jawed Karam. Man, that's 2005. That wasn't that long ago. And now there's bazillions of videos going up every day. All right, if you're a podcast person, you can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessventure.net, or wherever you get your podcast from. Just search for travel and cruise industry news or the Fat Guy or who knows what. You can probably find me just about anywhere. All right. Let's get on with the news now, since I got completely sidetracked and ran asunder. How's that for a big $5 word? Oh, by the way, Hot Air Tom went to work here in Italy. He went to work at a marble mine. Marble wasn't a mine. Anyway, there he is in his hard hat. And I guess this is, I don't know, he's out there sweeping dust, or I don't know what he's doing. I think it's a marble mine. Actually, looks like a pretty cool place. I don't think that's very accessible just by looking at it. But anyway, so he's due back here. Oh, probably closer to 6 o'clock. So we're going to have dinner a little bit later tonight, since Hot Air Tom is out doing whatever Hot Air Tom does. All right, so the lead story this morning, folks, I really can't call it the lead story. The first story today, which of course happened on Monday after the show. If it wasn't excitement enough to be sitting on an airplane with the engine on fire, it became even more thrilling when you had to deplane using the emergency slide to the tarmac. That's exactly what happened to Delta passengers on Monday at Orlando International Airport. Delta Airlines Flight 1213, bound for Atlanta, was pushing back from the gate for departure around 11:15 a.m. local time when an engine caught fire. Thankfully, the fire was extinguished quickly. There were no initial reports of injuries. According to Delta, the plane, an Airbus 330, had 282 passengers, 10 flight attendants, and 2 pilots on board. The airline said crews evacuated the cabin when flames were seen in the tailpipe of one of the plane's 2 main engines. Congratulations to the folks at Delta. Cruise around the world with the Will Model C2. That's the chair that I use. Our chairs will easily fit through accessible cabin doors and can navigate those tight spaces and crowded places. To see if Will may be right for you, click on the link below to schedule a test drive. Just tell them to use code Chillie for all your mobility needs. That's scootaroundstore.com. Talk about a last-minute cancellation. We're very sorry to advise you that following delay to Aurora's refit, we need to cancel Aurora's R505 cruise from Southampton to Zeebrugge tomorrow, the 21st of April. The unexpected email communication read, "So surprising was the email, the guests were left scrambling, wonder whether or not the message was sent in error, or perhaps was poorly timed. Even worse, it was Easter weekend, so you had no way of contacting anybody." Those guests who did receive the notice promptly had difficulty reaching any call center and customer service lines on the holiday. If you booked with us directly and wish to talk to us, please note, because of the Easter break, our contact center is closed on Easter Sunday, the email added. Aurora has been undergoing maintenance in a Drydock in Rotterdam, though neither the type of work nor the reason for the delay has been disclosed at this time. They just canceled the cruise the day before. Oh, well. Just 2 weeks after significant layoffs at the CDC, reports of illness outbreaks on cruise ships continue to be disclosed. The most recent outbreak has been aboard Viking Polaris, currently sailing an 11-night spring Canadian itinerary from Toronto to New York. The Easter sailing departed Toronto on Saturday, April 12th, and is scheduled to arrive in the Big Apple today. So the ships just keep sending in the reports, and no staff there to handle them. See a problem with this program, folks? An 84-year-old German passenger aboard TUI cruise ship Mein Schiff 3 experienced a severe cardiac event while the vessel was approximately 180 nautical miles northeast of São Miguel Islands in Portugal's Azores. The ship crew promptly contacted Ponta Delgada Maritime Search and Rescue Coordination Center at 11:30 a.m. local time. In coordination with the Maritime Urgent Patient Guidance Center and the Air Search and Rescue Center, an EH-101 helicopter from Portuguese Air Force was dispatched to the scene. The helicopter successfully evacuated the patient from the ship and transported him to Ponta Delgada Airport, arriving at 8:09 p.m. Subsequently, the individual was transferred to a medical facility on San Miguel Island for urgent care. No word on the condition of the patient. Embark on a unique riverboat adventure along the lower Mississippi River between New Orleans and Memphis. New Orleans reverberates with the sound of jazz, while Memphis offers savory barbecue, rich music history museums, and an amazing exploration of Elvis's Graceland. Discover why the Mississippi River and the port of Vicksburg were so important during the Civil War, and enjoy the beautiful architecture, antiques, and gardens of grand estates along the river. Perhaps sip and savor a 90-mint julep while strolling under the canopy of 300-year-old trees at Oak Alley, or peruse the local shops and museums of quaint and cozy towns like Francisville and Natchez. The lower Mississippi River cruise from American Cruise Line, where small ship cruising is done perfectly. The residential cruise ship The World has entered Drydock in Navantia Shipyard in Cadiz, Spain, for a comprehensive 6-week refurbishment. The $30 million overhaul focuses on significant environmental upgrade. A high-voltage shore connection system will be installed, enabling the ship to plug into shore-based electricity while docked, thereby reducing fuel consumption and emissions. Additionally, the bulb on the ship's bow will be replaced as part of a decarbonization initiative. Originally optimized for a speed of 19 knots, the new design will reduce hull drag by up to 10%, significantly decreasing greenhouse gas emissions. A silicone-based anti-fouling coating will also be applied to the hull to minimize drag and biofouling. Interior enhancements are also underway. Approximately 50 private residences will receive updates, including new flooring, cabinetry, and modern appliances. Public areas such as the pool bar and grill and the putting green will be refurbished, and the new amenities, including a golf simulator and a cold plunge pool, will be added to enhance the onboard experience for residents. MSC Group has confirmed plans to develop an island that will be about 1/3 the size of Ocean Key, the cruise line's existing private island. The new island will be built on what is now a natural sandbank. The as of yet to be named island, known internally as Little Key, presents an opportunity for MSC to further develop an exclusive luxury experience for its guests. Rome is gearing up for the funeral of Pope Francis this weekend. An event will be broadcast globally and has attracted a stream of mourners to the Italian capital city. The passing of Pope Francis at the age of 88, combined with the fact that 2025 was already a special holy year for Rome, Vatican City, and much of Italy, thanks to the cultural and spiritual celebrations surrounding Jubilee 2025, have driven prices sharply upward for travel to Italy. Travelers heading to Rome can expect to pay way more for everything from lodging to airfare to tours and attractions in and around the Vatican. Trip costs are up a steep 38%. Last year, the average trip cost was about $6,304. But this year, for the same period, the total price of an Italian vacation is substantially more at $8,673. Check out the newly reduced rates for solo travelers on the Norwegian Bliss May the 3rd, 2025 and May 10th, 2025, sailing 7-day Norwegian Bliss Alaska Dawes Glacier, Juneau, and Ketchikan round trip from Seattle. On the May the 3rd sailing, interior staterooms start at $599, including taxes and port expenses. On the May 10th sailing, interior staterooms start at $679, including taxes and port expenses. Also, there is no single supplement for solo travelers when booking any balcony category on these two sailings. All you have to do, folks, is give me a call, 434-258-9264, and we'll get you set up on the Bliss round trip from Seattle. Puts an end to the news portion of today's show. Let's jump over and see who's in the chat room fussing at me today. I'm not even going to apologize for the rant. So, Mujida, and I won't even attempt that one. One of our ex-folks, hello. Joanne's with us. Don't hear the helicopter. I haven't seen it now for 4 or 5 minutes. But, man, it was, of course, I got the door closed, too. There's Cindy Lee. Hi, Cindy Lee. Katie is with us. Good morning, Katie. There's Mike on this side of the pond. Hi, Mike. Jamin Watson. Hello, Chillie from Anaheim, California, Disney today. Cruise tomorrow. Awesome. Looking forward to following your adventures. And there's Steve out in Kentucky. Good morning, Steve. Amy Rogers. Howdy. All, I'm just back from my cruise, and Hot Air just got back from some kind of mines. Marble mines.
Chillie has his marbles now.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Amy's just back from a cruise. That's good, Amy. Glad you're back. Charlotte Olivia says, hey. Mike says you've got a right to be pissed off. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. Bob says, good morning. Good morning, Bob. I've got many Delta flights booked. Hug, rethinking, sitting in my exit rows now. Yeah, well, I look at it this way, Cindy. I mean, I've flown a lot. Yeah, I hate flying anymore, but that's has nothing to do with the engine fire. That's such a rare occasion that happens. I'm not really worried about that happen on the next plane I get on. We might not hear that again for 10 more years. And nobody got hurt. I mean, they did everything right. I'm sure it was scary. But my question was, what would they have done with me? Because my wheelchair's down in the luggage. Would they made me go down the chute and have no place to sit when I get down there? I don't know. Not sure how that would have been handled. Maybe if I get somebody in reasonably good news, I'll ask them at the airport on Sunday.
If you're laying down going down that chute, we just roll you out on the tarmac and you lay there.
Do you have any idea why we were getting buzzed by a helicopter for an hour or so?
No.
I mean, he was literally, you could feel the.
Was I here?
I thought maybe you heard something about it coming on the ship. It's just been the last 10, 15 minutes since the helicopter's not there.
Crazy bus driver that we're supposed to meet the bus at 3:30 and be back at the ship at 5.
Oh, wow.
At quarter to 3, he grabs me and says, it's time to go.
Okay, well, sorry about that. At least you get to go on excursions. Todd says, good morning, everyone. Hi, Todd. There's Roger. Roger says, has Hat lost his marbles? Yeah, he's lost his and found mine. That's pretty good. Is it a marble quarry rather than a mine? Ah, that's probably correct, Mike, a quarry. That was my lack of knowledge. Yes, that's correct. Mike put it right on the nail, right on the head here. Hot Air Tom and I were both wrong. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. I am still planning on Friday to do a show, probably in the hotel when we get into the Intercontinental in Barcelona. We get off, we got priority getting off, and it's only like 10 minutes away. Now, whether or not we can get checked into the room is a different story. Whether I'll have access to power, access to my computer, and someplace to do it, I don't know yet. But I'm counting on doing a show Friday again at 4 o'clock Eastern time. I mean, at 10 o'clock Eastern time, 10 a.m. Eastern time, which is 4 o'clock, my time over here. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. As always, I appreciate everyone being here. Don't forget, smash that thumbs up button. I'll probably have to get some throat lozenges for the rant. So, yeah, that was kind of a good one, wasn't it, guys? All right, guys, as always, stay safe, stay healthy. Think about cruising. Hopefully, one day soon, we'll all get together on the high seas. Have a great day, everybody. And I'll see you Friday if I don't see you before then. All right, guys. That's it for today. See you next time.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you'd like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chilliescruises.